To start with you, Nikola, the Pack is an NCAA leading 15 shutouts this season. How has the back line and their identity contributed to that?
I mean, I think it's everything. Just like Coach Hub said, like from the start of the year, it was like a goal we put in place, right? Because we worked so hard defensively, or like might as well try to get a clean sheet record. And every game, it was part of our goals, something we want to achieve, and I think we've achieved it pretty well.
Logan, what's it like for you to have a defender like him in front of you every night?
I think it attributed to not only just him, but the whole back line that I've always said, like, my four back line are my best friends, my closest guys, and, I think it stems, as much as it is on the field, like, Nico and I will go to the sauna, Nico and I will go make steaks together, like, the relationship that we build, and I feel like not only is this just teammates, it's the brotherhood that I plan to cherish for the rest of my life, and I love it.
Coach talked about how much you've grown the last year. How much have you seen that in the way you play?
I think, to me, I've made exponential strides, and I think it's come down to a mentality shift. Coming into the spring after the last fall, I wasn't happy with how I performed, and I knew that there was more to give, and I held myself to an incredibly high standard, and so I told him how hard I'd work. I'd be the hardest worker on the field. I'd watch the most film, and I would do everything in my power to be what this program needs. And he's helped me get all the resources for it, and just took it from there.
This is for all three. You guys had the two Syracuse games. What did you? Obviously, there's value in wins, but what was the value for those experiences? Has that made y'all better in this NCAA tournament?
I feel like we took it and we took it as a learning lesson. Knowing that our season wasn't over and we have the national tournament coming after, we kind of look at it as a striker perspective that we had a bunch of chances. We outshot them by, I think by 10 or something like that, and then the ball didn't fall behind the net. They're gonna have nights like that, but then how we go from there, maybe we get some extra reps and going into the first game of the national tournament. So it's more kind of learning from what that happened in those Syracuse games and not ever making it happen again. And I feel like we're the back line and us all being on the same page and then all going forward, I feel like we're in a very good spot and just lose that as a learning experience.
For Donna.
Oh, sorry. I mean, just really quick. We went through the whole season not giving up anywhere near as many goals as other teams, and one issue that we had was figuring out how to win when we did concede. And I think we took the two Syracuse games in stride and really sat down with each other and were open and honest about how we felt. And I think Georgetown was a big testament to how these guys can turn around and we can win games and we can't concede and still outscore teams.
For Donavan, playing at Keyski Prep and with your dad, playing professionally in Jamaica, how do you think that has prepared you for the spotlight here?
I feel like it have from all the games I played back home, and then especially going to a prep school like Keyski was known to be good. Learning from the coaching staff and the guys I played there for, guys from Spain and DR and all that stuff. I use it as I'm not just playing just for me. I'm playing for all of them. They all helped me throughout my story, and then kind of using them as a stepping stool to try to go pro and try to do the same thing over there. And then I look at it every game I go play, it's an opportunity for me to show myself. And I'm not just playing for me. I'm playing for my family and my country too. So it's trying to put my country on the map. Kind of put my family name out there, and then I know these guys are gonna be behind me no matter what. Even if I score the goal, even if I assist the goal, even if I'm not even on the field the Duke game, I know they're gonna leave everything out there and kind of that mentality has always been for me my entire life. And then come into a team where it's all about winning and kind of getting the next guy up even better. You know what I mean? Leaving NC State in a better place than when we came in. And that was the mentality going through, and it's been throughout my entire life. So coming to a team like this, where it's that mentality is already there, it kind of helped a lot.
For all three of you, what's it like to be able to play in the Final Four, 10 minutes down the road, not have to go too far and have a crowd that'll be behind you?
I mean, it's an honor. Honestly, it's something we've been working for all year, and the fact that it's in Cary, it's I'd say it's a huge advantage for us, and also all our fans, alums, had the chance to come. So we're just honored, and we'll try to make the most of it.
What was the vision that you had bought into when you came to NC State? All of you are relatively new to the program. I mean, what was that vision that was sold to you, and how has it lived up to sort of what you were expecting?
I mean, I think this is exactly it. Coach Hubbard, when he was recruiting me at least, and I think it's the same for all the other guys. You can tell he was ambitious. He had, everybody was telling, hey, this is the best coach. And I just believed in him. I liked this plan, and I think this is exactly why we came here.
Yeah, I think Hubs kind of sold me the dream that it was a rebuild team, and like, if you knew who I was growing up, like every team I've been a part of, that's how it was, and it was always about leaving the program in a better place. And he gave me the platform, and he sold me this dream of where he thinks the program could go, and especially in my last 2 years of eligibility. And I think he's more than capitalized on what he told me about it.
Yeah, kind of going off what Logan said, he like kind of told me like where the program is, like where it is right now, and then like his plan and the guys he has coming in. He's kind of confident that the next 2 or 3 years we're gonna be like the best team in the country. I mean, coming in, there's gonna have a little skeptical coming in because I would say NC State wasn't my top option, but when I came on my visit and kind of meeting Coach Hubbs in person and the coaching staff, well, I committed on the spot like 5 minutes after. I mean, I knew this was a place for me, and I knew this place was gonna be special, and it's lived up to it.
Donovan, when this team is scoring so quickly like they did in the Georgetown game, how important is it for the rest of the contest to see balls going through the back of the net early?
It means a lot. Like actually, that was one of the things we talked about, kind of scoring early and getting on the front foot. We know we have some of the best defenders and one of the best goalkeepers in the country. That from time the ball behind the net where we can get 1 or 2, then we know we can shut like any team in the country out. So trying to get that early goal is like really big, and it's kind of what we're going into St. Louis as, like trying to stand the front foot, like press them early, try to get shots off early, and then hopefully 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 at the back, and then the first half, and kind of manage the game from there.
Logan, does it make it any easier for you when you have a lead to play with a little bit?
100%, especially with the report that we've built and kind of I would say almost like the mantra that we've built for this team, especially going into this season. Like teams know that they need multiple goals in order to beat us. We have the best offense in the country, let alone an absolute lockdown defense. Like teams will scramble if we go up 1 or 2.
Let's talk about your midfield. They're not here. What do you think about those dudes? I mean, speak to those. They have to. They're not here, so it's up to you.
I'll go first because they kind of my providers. To be fair, I feel like they're the guys on the team that does the most running, and the most dirty work. I'd say, like they kind of like week in and week out, like kind of provide and help. Well, they provide us with like chances to try to score goals. A shot or take. And then like kind of help out our defense where they kind of like to unlock the game. They're the waste of the team, so like we need them. They're like one of the most important like facts of our team. I mean, I know they're not there right now, but then I know like if they were there, they would say like they put their trust into us, like knowing that we're gonna lock down and like score goals, and they know like they have one of the hardest jobs, and maybe they don't get the most praise for it, but they know like they're the most important players on our team.
Not many dudes would give up the PK to a midfielder. You did. You got trust.
I put my trust in my boys. I know for sure they're gonna. It may not be pretty like the first one like juice them, but we know we're gonna go in. That's what I'm saying. But I know like they're one of the most technical guys I've ever played with, and I know that 12 yards out, I know they won't make any mistakes. And even being at 17 goals, where I know like maybe I take that 1 or 2 PKs, I'll be the top scorer in the country right now. But I know that I kind of put the team first, and I know they were going to convert. And I'm not saying I'm second guessing myself, but I know they were like in the best spot and best position to go into that. So I'll give it up any day of the week to win that game.
About that atmosphere at Georgetown, what was that like?
I mean, I personally, I kind of like to, when people are always shouting and trying to say bad things. I think it gets some guys locked in, It gives like an extra bit of motivation. You want to prove them wrong, and when you win, it's even sweeter.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. Spent the whole 90 minutes just hearing everything you possibly could under the sun, and I know a lot of keepers would rather just zone it out, but to me, I love interacting with it. It fires me up, it gets me going, and keeps me riled up for the whole 90.
You ever been cussed at by kids that young?
I don't know about that many that young, I'll tell you that.
there's a lot of kids in this area that play soccer, and it's a soccer-rich sort of part of the country. You know, a lot of kids look up to you guys as far as what you've accomplished. Do you guys kind of sense that being in this community and how much people like soccer around here?
Yeah, I mean, after the games, we always do our rounds with people, with the Red Terrors, with the parents, some friends, and me personally, I've been seeing a lot of kids. They come up to me, I say good game, and I try to talk to them, and they tell me a little bit. Oh, I play soccer too. I play this position. So honestly, I think we can sense it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like a big tradition I like to do is always giving my gloves away, especially when they're coming near the end of their life. And I never really thought much of it. It was something that was ingrained in me when I was at Dynamo back in my day. But to have kids then post it and tag me and the excitement, and then their parents are DMing me about how happy it's made them, like it's made me really think about how much each of us have a hold in the community with these kids and with their families and bring them together.
You know much about that Red Terror nickname, where it comes from, what it means, does it mean to you guys?
I don't know too much about the origin or any of that, but I do know like they've lived up to what I've seen being called the Terrors, and I hear about it, especially from the fans. Are like, we're very close with women's soccer, and they'll go hang out with the Red Terrors during the games, and we'll hear back on, you know, just how the goalkeepers are shaken up, and we'll see mistakes from them, and it's like, it's unbelievable. It's great.
This team has, you know, marked their name in the history books next to some, you know, pretty big teams. You know, last time this program's gone to the Final Four back in 1990. What does it mean to you guys to kind of have your names already there and potentially getting to take it a step further?
It means a lot. I would say like we put a lot of work this season. Like coming into preseason, it was one of our goals to get to Kerry. We kind of put like everything in place where we can like. I would say the guys like on the scout team, like getting us ready like week in, week out, like the coaches doing film, getting scouting like guys, and I feel like the team has put us in the best spot to go make something special. I feel like with the group we have, we knew if we go into the national tournament that we're gonna make a deep run, and then at the end of the day, it's a national championship we're all chasing to try and leave our legacy and leave the place in a better, leave NC State in a better place, and I feel like we're really close. We like at the door, just like finishing the job.
You guys scouted St. Louis yet?
Yeah, we have.
What's your thoughts on them?
They're a pretty good team. Like every team in the College Cup right now is pretty good. That's like I would say like the four best tournament teams in the country right there right now. I would say one of their weaker spots is their back line. So we're hoping to, like I said, like press them early and kind of get some early goals and kind of maintain that shutout so these guys can get their record. You know what I mean? So, and we know like from the fact that from the time we put one or two at the back of the net, then we can shut out any team in the country. So kind of starting early, score early, and then make it to the national championship game on Monday.
Mark subbed you a lot, and there's been no slippage, and then you get the back end of the game, and obviously you would be more fresher than you would otherwise. Speak to how that's made you maybe one of the better forwards in the country.
I would say like knowing that like I can get subbed out and the team will not drop, the level will not drop, and then the guys coming in is gonna do everything they power to maybe put the team first and then come work in, even though they're playing like 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. But I would say that rest really helps me where I put like 45 and rest the extra 10 and come in maybe the second half like 25, 30 to go where I know my legs are at a good place where I could not reserve anything and leave everything on the line for the team.
You guys played some pretty intense 45 minutes in the second half there in Georgetown. I know Rob said it was like the most intense soccer some of them must have seen. How did you guys recover from that? And looking ahead to St. Louis, who is also a pretty scrappy team, I think they have 8 draws and 2 of their games went to OT. So talk about that, all 3 of you.
I think it's a lot easier to recover when you win games like that, especially away, and especially making the Final Four. Like, guys were buzzing for it. It was all about like the next 2 days was about how do we get our legs in a really good place and still get the touches on the ball so we're not going in a little rigid going into this week. But I feel like it's more mental than it is physical at this point, you know, to some degree. Just keeping guys ready for Friday, and then how do we manage that to go into Monday?
One more question.
I got one. Can Mark sing? Because when y'all win, you sing. And how neat would that be to sing on Monday night?
I'd love to hear him say on Monday, honestly. I think he's got an amazing voice, so we're all waiting for it.
I think I'm more looking forward to the cheers. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. You can see like how much it means to him. Like
Yeah.
even after beating like Boston College, where it's just like a regular season game, like knowing that he went home and then we got the job done for him, and then we know that he puts everything on the line for us, and he's one of those passionate coaches, and we want to give him a national championship.
Sweet.
Great way to